Hi, and welcome to another episode of Disrupt Your Now, the show for entrepreneurs who are ready to shake up their life and business. Today, we welcome Simon Severino, who is the founder of Strategy Sprints, where they help business owners double their revenue in 90 days. He is also the author of Strategy Sprints, the book, and the book Habits of Success. Welcome to the show, Simon. I'm so excited to have you here because the things that you do to help entrepreneurs take control of your life are right up the alley of what I like to do. So, welcome to the show and tell us a bit more about your background.
Hey, Lisa. Hey, everybody. Yeah, it's 21 years that I do only one thing, helping entrepreneurs with go to market, with scaling their business. And the challenges, there are some eternal challenges, and there are some very specific momentary challenges. Right now, it's supply chains that are broken and markets that are hard to predict.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my passion. And so I like big vital problems, and the vital problems for me are time and money. So that's my passion, helping entrepreneurs with those really vital problems, because if we solve these problems, the rest is easy. When they come back home for dinner, they are relaxed and they are nice to be around. That's what I do.
I love it. And you're right. When you can solve those two problems, everything else falls into place. 21 years? You don't even look old enough to have been doing it 21 years.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm 43 now. And I started quite young working
Uh-huh.
for global consultancies where
Mhm.
you can start very young. You can be in huge projects and take responsibility. And I was always like, me. And everybody was like, Simon, that's the top management of BMW. Are you sure you want to moderate that workshop? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That is great. Just going for it. And other people are afraid. They're just kind of sitting back waiting, right?
I I run on enthusiasm.
Mhm.
And of course, I make mistakes every day. I make 5 to 10 mistakes. But because I do them, and it became the method, the strategy sprints method
Mhm.
is based on explore as much territory per day as possible. Because the idea is, where is the energy and where is authenticity? I think it's in our enthusiasm.
Mhm.
If you are curious, if you come from the heart and you really want to explore, that's the best energy, actually, right? And then what is important in business? To learn more than your competitors, to
Mhm.
learn about your clients, to learn about what they need, where they are, what they want to be next. And so how do you learn? You learn by exploring a lot of ground. And how do you do that? Do a lot of stuff every day, right? Explore, find the limits.
Mhm.
And so if I didn't do 5 to 6 mistakes per day, I didn't even explore the limits of that day. And so this is why my team is allowed to do a ton of mistakes. We have a method for that. So they are not big mistakes, because in the sprints method, you have many small experiments with low budget.
Mhm.
So you are supposed to bring a lot of invalidated hypothesis. That's a mistake. Yeah, I thought if I do this, that happens. It didn't. I wasted $100. All right,
Mhm.
it took me 3 hours. Fine. Thank you. Now we can stop wasting time on that hypothesis. It's the wrong one. So we waste 3 hours and $100, and we want that failure, and we want 5 to 6 per person on my team per day.
Mhm. And that's the exact opposite of what most people do. Most people sit there and think and plan and strategize and write and everything for months, if not years, because they think, I've got to get everything perfect. And in the meantime, they have no clue if the thing that they're working on is even something that somebody wants or something that will work.
How does it feel,
Mhm.
right? To make no mistakes.
Yeah.
That's such a boring life. I don't want to live like that.
No.
Entrepreneurs don't want that kind of life, right?
Hmm.
We want to feel the impact, because We go to the places where there is really a problem and it's bigger than most people are willing to solve. And that's when we say, all right, challenge accepted. But first you have to find the right problem and you have to go there into that dark void where right now there is no solution.
Uh-huh.
That's a startup, right? That's a new venture. Right now there is no solution, but I think there is a smarter way to do this. You have just started a venture.
Mm-hmm. When you were talking about researching your competitors and learning from them, it seems to me that so many businesses, what they learn from other businesses is just how to do what they're doing. They just look around at other companies in their industry and they just mimic what everybody else is doing. Everything from how they build the business, how they structure it, how they price, the services that they offer. And then a lot of times we as entrepreneurs, we've started our business because we want to be in control of our life and we want to be excited and have fun, but we end up building a business that somebody else wanted. So doing what you're talking about doing will help people along the way figure out before it's too late, before they own this business that's going down this track that they never wanted to go down.
Yes, before. So it's all about timing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I understand people who don't want to make mistake, because when I fly a plane, I don't want the pilot to make a mistake, right? If I'm at the dentist and they're doing mistakes, I don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
So there are specific settings where you want mistakes. And these settings, that's why I created the strategy sprints method for us. These settings are, there's a very structured way of running high frequency parallel experiments.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the scientific method, or if you, in layman terms, it's just warm, cold. But you write down, warmer. So you write down your thesis. I think if we do this, it gets warmer. And then you do it, you measure. If it gets colder, you stop it. It never becomes a theory. It was a thesis, it's invalidated, next, discarded.
Okay.
Discarded. And you want to do that in a high frequency.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can do 30 experiments per week and your competitors can do 10, guess who will get lucky?
Yeah.
And by getting lucky, I mean, guess who has a higher probability to hit that one thing that the client really needs?
Mm-hmm.
And when you hit that, you stop everything else, you concentrate everything on that, you double down and you scale it.
Yeah.
And when you scale it, this is the moment where you want to have an operational system that works.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say I run on enthusiasm, that's correct. It's the starting point. But I can have this courage because I stand on a firm ground of a very, very systemized business.
Mm-hmm.
We have 274 SOPs. We're a small business, right? It's like 15 people over the globe, but we have 274 SOPs.
Wow.
That's like running BMW.
Mm-hmm.
Not the whole BMW, but a good department, right? So why do we have that? Because that's the foundation. If you want to play and be creative and be enthusiastic, you need solid processes. They need to be very simple, but also very repeatable.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to discuss everything new. So everybody knows how to write down a thesis, how to experiment a thesis, how to discard it, where to get the budget. They don't ask for $100. They know how to do it, how to invalidate it, what's their budget, how to increase or decrease their budget, how to take decisions. These are all SOPs. So we have the operations SOPs, marketing SOPs, sales SOPs. These are the three most important departments of every business. And so we write them down. Mm-hmm. So there is a very solid structure. Then we have a daily habit for all of us. Daily habit, weekly habit, monthly habit. Daily habit is time management. We learn from how we allocate time. What do we delegate next? What do we systemize next? What do we cut next? What do we automate next? That's the daily habit. Mm-hmm. Weekly habit, we get our 3 real-time numbers on a dashboard, the sprint dashboard: marketing number, sales number, operations number. 1 each, the most important, every 7 days.
Uh-huh.
So we know if we are winning or not, if we're doing the right things or not. Now, on this basis, now you can go and play, but everybody knows these are the 3 numbers we have to hit in 7 days. So whatever you experiment, you have a clear focus.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go off track, you quickly know it, so you can quickly go back.
Yeah, you keeping yourself in the lane so that kind of like a bowling alley. So somebody can't go off in the gutter. They stay in the middle. The other thing about building those processes is it actually builds more value in the business and makes it more likely to be able to be sold, because when you're developing processes, somebody else can walk in and take over. Whereas too many entrepreneurs basically have their fingers in everything. And so nobody else can really run the business because nobody knows everything.
Yes. I always advise our clients to think not just like the CEO, but also like the owner. So
Mm-hmm.
if you are the owner, you want your business to always be sellable.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want to sell, but you want to run it in a way that is sellable for a multiple that you like.
Mm-hmm.
Can be 25 times, can be 15 times, whatever you like. You like that multiple, and right now you could sell it. For example, I don't plan to sell my business at any stage,
Yeah.
but from the first week, I organized it in a way that is sellable, writing down the marketing SOPs, the sales SOPs, and the operations SOPs. Even when I was a one-man show in the first year, I started doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It had my name on it everywhere, but I knew that as soon as I can, and I started in the first year, I will bring in people and I will hand those parts that already work and are written down, I will hand them over.
Mm-hmm. And it gives you so much more freedom, because once you get those processes in place, you're able to think about the big picture and the things that you're really interested in, instead of being down in the weeds and never being able to get up out of it.
And you can go on vacation.
Yeah.
I do 4 weeks uninterrupted beach vacation. My
Mm-hmm.
my kids, they love the beach. And so every summer, it's coming up in 10 days, we go for a month
Oh.
uninterrupted to the beach. Now imagine you run a small business which operates globally. So you have every day like 12 problems to solve, big
Mm-hmm.
problems, right? And legal problems, customer service problems, sales problems, everything, right? And now you go on vacation for 4 weeks and you don't have SOPs in place.
Yeah,
That will be the worst vacation of your life.
for
Because
sure.
because during your vacation everything breaks, you come back, everything is a mess.
If anything even happened when you're gone. One of the guys in my last book, Disrupt Your Now, he went on not on vacation, he went on his honeymoon. And when he got there, he was in Europe, he's from America. He ended up working every single day. And he realized, oh my gosh, what's the use in having a business when I want to have a family? And so the first thing he did when he got back home was to sit down and start a process similar to what you're talking about, to document everything and set up procedures, so that he wasn't talking about his way of doing it. He was talking about the company way of doing it, even though it was his way of doing it.
I think that is actually why we love vacations so much. Of course, if you go to the beach, you enjoy just the elements, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think one element also, not just the sand and the water and the sun, I think one element in the equation is before you go on vacation, you bring everything in order. You check everything, you review, you discuss, you hand over. And then you go on vacation. And that's the peace of mind actually,
Mm-hmm.
to bring everything in order. And so when we share our 274 templates and blueprints with their clients, they go, "Oh my God, this is like this is the CEO university I've never had." And I have peace of mind. I see the whole thing. I see the parts, and I see who needs to do what. I
Mm-hmm.
can go on vacation.
So
I,
when you're gone for a month like that, do you touch base with like your assistant, or are you out of touch totally unless there's an emergency?
I do one weekly call. It's on Monday in the siesta time because my kids sleep around
Mhm,
3 p.m. So I have one fixed weekly call with my whole team.
mhm.
And then there is a red phone for two people, and they could get me
Yeah.
via the red phone if it's really urgent. But
And
that's it.
there,
I don't do emails or things like that.
that's awesome, because I'll tell you, the thing I hate the most on earth is email, because it's like, oh my gosh, you never know what's lurking in there. I feel like I'm always having to keep on top of it and clean it out, because it just stacks up so quickly, even if it's spam. So
Yeah.
tell us about the process, the strategy sprints process.
So it's 90 days, and it's for B2B businesses who are doing around 35K per month, and they want to double it to 70K in 90 days.
Okay.
So month one, we have to free them up from the weeds. We have to organize things better, delegate, systemize, cut, automate.
Yeah.
So month one, the goal is to get 10 to 14 hours of their time freed up by better organizing and installing the SOPs that we have ready for them.
Mhm.
So we free up 10 to 14 hours of their time in month one. In month two, we use this time to work on form, fit, and function of the sales system.
Okay.
So who does what? Do you have setters and closers? What about the retainment? Do you have a cross-selling system? Do you have a referral system? Simon, what's a referral system? Do you have a joint venture system? Simon, what's a joint venture system? So we organize all of that. What's your sales estimation number? How do I know? What's your what's your sales in 3 months? I don't know. And so we start doing those basics in the sales workflow, and also creating the SOPs, how they will improve them every week, and who
Okay.
runs them.
Mhm.
And when that is in place, we work on the three main acupuncture points. If you want to double your revenue, you have to increase three things by 25%. Then you increase your revenue by 99%.
Ooh.
The three things are: you have to increase the frequency of your sales by reducing the sales time, the conversion rate of your existing conversations without any marketing spend, and the price that you charge for the same offer by 25%.
Mhm.
And you can do all of these three things with 8 blueprints that we bring. It's 8, 8, and 8. It takes us around 2 to 3 weeks to do that. And then now you have doubled revenue, which means you are more relaxed. There is more oxygen in the system.
Mhm.
Right now, during a recession, quite important to do that. At the same time, also cost management and reducing costs.
Yeah.
For example, reducing marketing and improving operations and sales. That's what we
Mhm.
do in the first 2 months.
Okay.
And now that they have a perfectly running machine, they can go on holidays, it's sellable, etc. Now in the third month, for the first time, we talk about marketing.
Okay.
And so they have cut marketing costs for 2 full months. That's for some people, it's 40K, 50K. They have doubled revenue. So they are now full of liquidity, have an amazing cash flow. And now we decide how to scale that. For some people, it's a franchise model like I have, or a certification model. For other people, it's affiliate partnerships or joint ventures.
Mm.
And for other people, it's just selling the IP.
Yeah.
And for some people, it's ads, something that we do not recommend, but some like it still. But it's from the price to earnings
Mhm.
ratio, and it's the worst.
Yeah.
So and that's the third month where we start scaling the thing, and this is where we start really doing and also spending in marketing.
I love that you gave several different examples of how you can scale, because I think most people just look at, I have to hire people and sell more. They forget that they could be a solopreneur and still scale by either, like you said, strategic partnerships, joint ventures, intellectual property, courses, creating passive income through things like that. So I'm really glad that you pointed that out.
Some hiring, even a solopreneur should do,
Yeah.
like for example, outsourcing the bookkeeping,
Hmm.
outsourcing everything, invoicing and following up on open invoices, having an executive assistant. Even if you're just one person,
Yeah.
having an executive assistant is really a lifesaver, especially because it's a lifestyle business. If you want to stay alone, you want to enjoy life, And
Right.
then you need an executive assistant if you want to enjoy that life.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can talk also about starting, handing over marketing, handing over sales, handing over operations. But you can be a solopreneur and have the impact that you want to have and live your dream.
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people with COVID, the reality of how quickly things can change, it made people start looking at lifestyle businesses a lot differently and actually oops, I lost Simon. Hold on a sec. Hope he'll be back. Um, anyway, what was I saying? um, oh, I was saying that with COVID, it's made so many more people realize that lifestyle businesses are a legitimate thing. Here he is. Hey
I'm back.
there.
I'm back.
Sorry about that. Um, I was just saying that COVID especially made people totally realize that lifestyle businesses are a legit thing. I think that before this, they thought of that as, oh, just somebody with a side hustle or somebody that is just doesn't really own a business. And now they're realizing that you can design your own life. And then especially some people are having to because they're being laid off.
Yes. And my definition of success is I live my dream, I'm happy,
Mhm.
and I spend less than I earn.
Yeah.
So, with this definition, you can run a global business and accumulate a ton of Bitcoin, or you can have a backpack life and just spend $200 on Bali.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, you can make the life that you want. That's the great thing about
Yeah.
living in our age, right? And I
Right.
think
And
success, you define it.
right. Everybody's definition of success is different. And I've been in this business for 26 years. And one of the things that I found is the most unhappy business owners are the ones that don't think about what they want out of life. All they look at is just the business and doing what everybody in their industry is doing it. They're, and then they end up miserable. There's so many business owners, they have money, everybody thinks they have it made, but they go home and they're miserable because at the end of the day, money isn't everything. I know it's trite, but it's they never thought of what did they want to get out of the business besides money or have a higher purpose for it. And I don't mean necessarily philanthropic or something. Their higher purpose might be to just have a bigger house or to spend more time with their family or whatever, but to have some higher purpose other than just the money.
I think money is wonderful if you have use for it, right?
Right.
I
Yeah.
love money. And my budget has always some topics, right? What I do with this and what I do with that. Oh, and with that, I'm gonna do that. And let's do this. So then money is fun. It's
Mhm.
energy. It's just life force, right?
Yeah. And I think that's a great idea to have a purpose for it. If you know what you're working towards, instead of just I want to be a millionaire or I want to make X amount per year, if you're breaking it down like you are and saying if I make this amount, this means this to me and my family or whatever, in each one, it becomes a lot more fulfilling, and to me it becomes a lot more challenging, or fun, but in a fun way, you know.
Yesterday in our mastermind, one of our participants, he shared a purpose practice that is you set the money amount that you want to have, you define the plan how you get there, you define what will you give back. So what are you going to put in and give back in order to receive that?
Uh-huh.
And then you write everything down and you listen to it in the morning and in the evening.
That's great. That's a good idea. So I need to do that. Let me see, what time is it? I was going to see where we are in it so I can pull that back up. What would you say is the biggest problem that most of your clients, is there kind of one core problem that everything revolves around? Is it that they don't have processes and systems, or do you see something else that's even bigger underlying that?
The biggest problems that I see. First, they do too much at once instead of solving this week the main bottleneck,
Okay.
and next week the next bottleneck, and next week the next bottleneck.
Mhm.
So instead of doing traditional 6 months planning, we advise them to do weekly sprints. And
Okay.
we share that in the book Strategy Sprints, how you set them up, because there is always one bottleneck. And if you want to be motivated as a team, solve only the one bottleneck this week and not everything.
Yeah.
And that bottleneck is either in marketing or in sales or in operations. And
Mhm.
you pick that and you solve only that one this week. Then you measure it, you applaud yourself, you celebrate, you're grateful. And then next week, you tackle the next one.
Mm.
So the main problem that people don't know how to find the bottleneck and how to focus on that bottleneck. So on our
Okay.
website, we share a tool. They can find their bottleneck in 8 minutes.
Ooh.
And
So how do they get to that?
it's strategysprints.com. And in 8 minutes, they find their bottleneck. And if it says it's this part of marketing, then just focus on that with your team for this week. And when it's solved, then you start the next bottleneck.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. The number of activities, reduce the number of activities in a given moment.
Mm.
And think of yourself, if you're just doing one thing, you're usually in flow.
True. Yeah.
You start getting stressed when you have multiple things in your head, right?
Mm. Yeah, because when you're jumping from thing to thing, and I'll be honest, I can be really bad about that. Like ADD, like I'll be working on something and all of a sudden my brain is like, "Oh, you need to go do this thing." And I have to really train myself to be like, ignore your brain and keep going, unless it is something really important. But it's that squirrel factor.
Exactly. That's the
Mhm.
first problem. The second problem is they waste a lot of time and money on the wrong things in the wrong order.
Okay.
So mostly marketing. 99.9% of people listening right now are spending too much time and too much money in marketing. Because marketing is wonderful after you have totally optimized operations, and then after you have totally optimized sales, both work like a machine without
Mhm.
you. Now you start doing marketing because now
Okay.
you have something to tell the world about. Before that, you don't even have something to tell about. Come on, do good work. And
Good.
then later on, you tell the world about, look what my work has done for
Uh,
them. That's marketing.
Great point. Now, I was listening to some of your YouTube videos about the stages, awareness, and so forth. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So if you break down your business into the most simple phases, the value creation is the awareness stage. Hey, here we are. Then interest. Oh, let me see. What else do you have? And then
Hmm.
engagement. Oh, cool. When is your next event? Send me the newest PDF when it comes out. Can I give you an Amazon review of your book? Now you have engaged people.
Hmm.
From engaged, you make them ready to buy. And then there's the closing stage where you promise something and you commit to work together and to share the risk of getting there. And then comes the delivery. Now you deliver what you promised.
Mm.
And you hopefully over deliver because the next stage is retainment, cross selling, upselling.
Hmm.
And if you don't over deliver, you lose them. So now it's really important how you deliver. That's why operations is so important. Now
Hmm.
it's really important that you deliver. And these are the stages. If you map this out on a one pager and then write in each stage, what do they need? What do you do? And how can you improve it?
Hmm.
That's enough working on the business for this week for most people.
Okay. In talking about stages, I personally have so many people that reach out to me that I don't know at all. I have never heard of them. And it'll be either email or LinkedIn, total cold connections, but straight out of the gate. Yeah, I want to set up a Zoom call with you and, blah, 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 and talk about our services. I'm like, no, I don't want to talk to you. Or the person on LinkedIn that, I hate it. Usually I'll connect with people on LinkedIn that we have common connections. I can see, why we should be connected. But, and sometimes I have this gut feeling of, I don't know, but I'll accept it. Most of the time when I have that gut feeling, straight out of the gate, the person will send me a message right away with this long sales pitch. And I'm like, can we be connected for a little while? Do you see that problem a lot?
This might work if your target group has a lot of time on their hands. They are bored the
Yeah.
half of the day and they just want to chat.
Hmm.
But this sounds like somebody's targeting you as a business owner.
Yeah.
Then that's really wrong, because the time for a business owner, the most scarce resource is time.
Hmm.
And so if you ask for half an hour of Lisa, you have to be aware that you are asking a big ask.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that before that you have pre-framed the ask with at least 6 to 10 valuable experiences. Can be
Okay.
videos, can be PDFs, checklists, posts, but create some value for Lisa first.
Hmm.
Then second, you have to show that you see her, that it's not just a general message, but
Yeah.
you see her where she is, and that you work with many in her industry and in her position, and that you see what's coming. That's
Yeah.
strategic selling. I see what's coming in your industry. I have 2 insights that I can share with you, and I can do that most effectively in 25 minutes. Would you have 25 minutes this week?
Hmm.
Now, maybe, we had value, we had a clear description of who you are, where you are, and now we have somebody who maybe is an expert. And if you risk 25 minutes, you might learn 2 things
Hmm.
that change your business.
Yeah.
Now, maybe we are talking.
Right.
This is an example of how you build it up.
Exactly. Don't go straight from, okay, we're connected, to here's a sales pitch. And I'll get emails all the time. I got one this morning, well, probably several, but this morning, I emailed you last week about a Zoom call. We need to set this up. Total, I have no clue who the people are. And I know what they are. They're like web design firms, marketing firms that want me to subcontract out to them. But I'm like, I don't even know you. And if I were going to be hiring somebody, I would be doing it with somebody that I know probably. And it gets really frustrating. And when people do that, if anybody out there is doing that, you're hurting yourself, because it makes people less likely to want to engage with you, because they're kind of afraid of when is the pitch coming again.
And I am happy about this because, as you can see, most people, they treat sales like a commodity, like how can
Mhm.
I automate the messaging, right? And
Yeah.
so when you do that, you are clearly disqualifying yourself, and you are opening up a huge market for the rest of us who take it seriously, who think it's a relationship building,
Yeah.
who really want to create value, and who really are experts in their field,
Yeah.
because you will see it, how they talk to you, which questions they ask, how deep they go into exploring, and they create value in each stage, in each experience, in each interaction. They create some value, some insights, some knowledge, some tools. And so I like it actually, because it makes sales for the people who really care and who do it in an elegant, in a true way, like you would do to a friend, to somebody that you actually really like.
Hmm.
Well, for them, it's strategic advantage. If you now are a true expert and you come from a good place, from your heart, and you really want to bring value,
Hmm.
now you are one leg up.
Yes, so true. Relationships, because as you said, when you're just going out and shotgun blast, it's a commodity. But if you've built a relationship with somebody, then most likely you're going to end up with clients that last for years. I have a couple of clients from that I started working with in 97, which is really unheard of in the internet industry, especially because one of them is a government agency. That's really unheard of. And so, but the reason it is because we really know each other, we trust each other. I know if they say something, I can depend on it, and vice versa. So I'm totally with you on the relationship building part. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe I was losing
Relationship
you.
is everything
Yeah.
especially in the B2B sales, right?
Hmm.
Professional services, agencies, consultancies. From who do you buy? I buy from somebody that I see as an expert and I
Hmm.
can trust that they use their expertise to improve my business and theirs
Yeah.
in that order.
Yeah, it's fine if they're improving theirs, but you don't want them to be improving theirs on your shoulders and you're not getting anything out of it. Um,
Exactly.
so hold up your book again, or do you have the other one with you as well?
Yeah.
Strategy
Strategy
Sprints.
Sprints. It's right
That's
now on Amazon.
okay, and that's the newest one, right?
It's my only book. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw a different one on Amazon. Okay, because I opened up wrong then. Hold on a second. I want to ask you about this.
I was
Uh,
part of many books,
Oh,
but this is
okay.
my only book. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Habits of success. You partnered with somebody. Okay, so yeah, strategy sprint. So it's on Amazon. It's probably everywhere books are sold, right? So people can
Yes.
grab your book, but if they're interested in working with you, tell them what they should do.
So if you are a B2B business and if you are above 35K and if you want to double in 90 days and create better operations, better sales, more resilience, and navigate these funky times better, you
Funky
can
times.
head over to strategysprints.com and then click, and then you land on our calendars, mine and then my team. And we're happy to explore and have half an hour conversation and see where you are, where you want to be, how you might get there. And if you do it with a sprint coach, how we can help you get there faster, safer, and with more structure. That's how you can work with us,
Okay.
strategist.com.
And that is 35K per month, right?
Per month,
Yeah,
yes.
I don't want anybody out there to be thinking it's annually in case they weren't paying attention earlier.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Every time somebody says, most people think in annual revenue.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And so they tell me, I'm doing 6 figures, 7 figures. And we go, I, I don't care what you do in 12 months
Mhm.
because we will double it a couple times until there. So tell me what you did this week. And they go, oh, I don't have the weekly sales number. Okay, tell me the month. At least the
Mhm.
month. It's for me, it is the biggest amount time horizon that I want to hear revenue. I
Yeah.
prefer the week. And
Yeah.
and our clients after the sprints, they have a weekly dashboard and they know their weekly sales numbers. But at least the month, because so much will change from now, 9 months later. Hello, I hope we will improve sales. What are we
Yeah.
doing the whole time? We
That's
are
right.
entrepreneurs.
That's right. But there's always those unknown things like COVID and war and whatever. So yeah,
Oh,
you're right.
it's all
Focus.
opportunities. This
Right.
is all opportunities.
If you
A
focus on the short.
recession, a recession is where wealth is made, where
Yeah.
innovation happens.
Okay.
COVID was was the moment where innovation happened. I can tell you stories from our masterminds of people who
Uh-huh.
from one day to the next lost 500,000 in revenue from the existing clients and existing offers. But then together we workshop, they pivoted, they changed the offer, and now they're doing 3 times more than pre-COVID
Yeah.
and much more scalable because it's an online version of what they did.
Hmm.
So times of disruption are times of opportunity. It's
Right.
just, are you built more like Lego than like Duplo? If you are built like Duplo, like big pieces, and you can't change them, you are wrecked. It's over.
Yeah.
But if you are built like Lego, those little pieces, the daily habit, weekly habit, the SOPs that you can rewrite quickly, now you can adapt. You just say, okay, let's hold on. Let's invite everybody in. How are you doing? What do you really need? What do you need next? How can we help? And now you use this opportunity. Because let me tell you about the good side of a recession. The
Hmm.
good side of a recession is most of your competitors are going to be insolvent.
Yeah.
Everybody who is swimming naked will be seen naked. That's your chance.
Yeah. I'm like you. I have so many friends that have totally transformed their businesses during this time and are making way more money than they were before and having more fun doing it. So it's
Yes.
all about looking at things like an opportunity instead of just automatically going into survival mode where, and that's what most business owners do. They're just like, we got to be really careful now. Just try to keep doing the same thing over and over, and try to make it through this instead of trying to think creatively.
I'm seeing people laid off right now by IBM, by Amazon, etc.
Yeah.
And those people are brilliant people. And they now have the chance to go all in because they had quite some comfort being the VP of
Yep.
something at IBM. You are very comfortable. You build your house, etc. Now they need to really, really go all in. And now you see them really light up after
Yeah.
the initial shock, but then they go inside themselves, ask for their purpose, clarity, and then they go all in. And now you see them like really unfolding their magic, bringing their magic. And those are the people that you can hire. Those are the people that you can have as a supplier. They can be consultants for you. I
Mhm.
want to hire those people. I'm
That's right.
actively hiring right now because there's
Uh-huh.
bright people. And but you can collaborate with them. So I see opportunities.
I
Of
do
course,
too.
I
And
see what's
those,
coming, but I prepare for that, and I
uh-huh.
prepare for the opportunities.
And those same people have a lifetime of experience that they can either use working for another company or as a consultant or starting their own business. I think especially older people who are laid off are so worried about their age and everything that they totally forget that they know all this stuff that younger people don't. Both ages need each other. The
Yeah,
older people need fresh eyes, need younger people, but the younger people need the life experiences of the older. So I love seeing people who are in situations like that where they're laid off that could be catastrophic, and instead they've turned it around and built an amazing business where for the first time in their life they're actually having fun at work and can build their life like they want it.
yeah, they light up.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, Simon, thank you so much for joining me today. I've really enjoyed talking with you. Definitely got to go get your book and read it. I've been watching your. Darn, I lost him again. I don't know if he'll be back. I don't know what's happening. Strategysprints.com, y'all. If he doesn't come back, strategysprints.com is the website, and the name of the book is Strategy Sprints. And you can also find him on LinkedIn and everywhere. Okay, hold on.
Back again.
Hey, yeah, I was just winding down. I was saying how people could find you. I was reiterating the name of the book, and so now you tell them again.
Yeah, the book you can find everywhere on Amazon and everywhere. It's
Mhm.
Strategy Sprints. If you want to find us, we are at strategysprints.com. And if you like YouTube, I share every week our mistakes, our journeys, our learnings on two YouTube channels. One is called Strategy Sprints, one is called Simon Severino.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah. And y'all, I've really been enjoying his videos. So I highly recommend that y'all go watch them. Thanks so much for joining me, Simon. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, everybody. Keep rolling.
Yeah. Thanks. Bye, y'all. And I also have a show tonight, y'all, my regularly scheduled show. So see you this evening.